Yale University School of Medicine has teamed up with the Veterinary Cancer Center of Connecticut and developed a vaccine that is showing promise in fighting some of the most aggressive forms of canine cancer. The doctors leading a study on both fronts, Dr. Mark Mamula from Yale and veterinary oncologist Dr. Gerald Post, join us now. Thank you both for being with us. The Cycle team has been very much looking forward to this segment. I have a golden retriever as my best friend in the world. A lot of the folks at Cycle have dogs. Jerry, I'll start with you. How are the trials working so far?
Fantastic. These are early stage trials, but they're working very well. There have been an unbelievable number of people who are interested in participating. The dogs are handling the therapy incredibly well. It's very exciting. So
talk to us a little bit more about what you guys are doing. How is it different than the trials that have been done in the past with dogs?
So this trial is unique. It doesn't involve chemotherapy. It involves the development of antibodies, and Mark has developed a unique way of making the body make its own antibodies. And so it's a way to inexpensively treat dogs and hopefully people with monoclonal type antibody therapy.
And Mark, the hope here is people always joke, right, that pet owners look like their dogs, but in this case you really are hoping that there are a lot of similarities here, right?
Well, absolutely, and as Dr. Post mentioned, tumors are, or he alluded to, tumors are very poor targets of natural immune responses, but we know they're susceptible to antibody killing, and that's really the focus of this vaccine trial, is to get your own white blood cells to make antibodies against the tumor. Early studies from our lab, which have been going on for, gosh, the better part of 8 or 10 years now, and this is a culmination, this is a product of many of those studies that we've been doing. Early studies appear to be very successful in actually helping reduce tumor burden in laboratory animal models.
And that can translate directly over to humans from what you guys find?
Yes, the project was actually designed to be highly translatable into human conditions, and that's, of course, one direction that we hope to be at soon. As Dr. Post can address, certainly canine cancers resemble human tumors very closely in progression, in genetics, and in many other ways, treatment as well. And in fact, much of what we learn from this study will hopefully be directly translatable into humans.
So when you see this in a negative outcome, you have a cancer or a tumor that spreads or metastasizes and people can die. What is the positive outcome? What does the cure look like here?
Well, that may vary, of course, between tumor types. There are many flavors of cancers, and this particular vaccine is directed at breast and colon cancers. And those tumor types have very specific proteins that are expressed on the cell. That's what we target, so that's what makes them unique. Of course, we hope for regression or stability of tumor size.
But in plain English, do you have a situation where you have a dog that has a tumor and the tumor goes away?
Well, that's what we're hoping.
Yes.
You know, and although Mark is targeting breast and colon cancer, it really doesn't make a difference what we call the cancer. It just makes the difference as far as what are the genetic drivers of that cancer. And so our hope is that, yes, the tumors go away. But I would also say failure is a success in that knowing what doesn't work in the dog model will also help guide human clinical trials much more effectively.
So to that point, Dr. Post, how far along are we in the canine clinical trials, and how far away are we from potentially seeing some benefits for humans?
So the canine clinical trials are underway currently. We're probably a quarter of the way to our target number already. As far as the human clinical trials, I'll leave Dr. Mamula to address that issue.
Well, you know, hopefully we generate enthusiasm and momentum from this study to be in that phase of this work very soon. I would hope in the next year or two. Human studies, of course, take on other complications.
Ethical or financial?
Both. You bring up financial. This one other benefit of this potential therapy is that it probably will be, it certainly will be much more economical than other forms of therapy for these cancers, at least in dogs, and certainly in humans as well.
Well, it's incredible you guys are